In this video, I'm going to be discussing how to use a pattern book. It is essentially a catalog of all the patterns currently being sold in that store. You can find these books in the dedicated area of a fabric or craft store, usually near the cabinets that store the actual patterns. For this demonstration, I will be using Simplicity. Simplicity is one of the major pattern manufacturers, and it's no wonder as they produce lots of amazing patterns with simple, easy to follow directions. Regardless of what pattern book you use, the same basic concepts will apply. When you open your Simplicity book, you'll notice that they really break it down to try to make it as easy as possible in order to find your patterns. Over here on the left, the categories are broken down by color. So we have purple for special occasion, red for dresses, green for tops and jackets, and so on. You'll also see a number on top of this box. This is the page number at which this category starts. So at 182, we start the category on skirts and pants. So you'll see this goes in order. So we'll come across special occasions first and then dresses and so on. Now they usually feature some patterns on the first couple of pages, and on each of these pictures you'll see a colored dot. This correlates over here. So if I find this picture interesting, I see it's a dark purple. I go over here and it's for accessories. So for this particular feature, they're showing you a pattern for the bag here. Over here, they remind you again of the colors. And again, if I were to lift up these pages. So for this bag here, it's in the purple section. They also put page 581, so I can go straight to page 581. But if I lift this up, I can go straight to the purple section, and it's kind of an easy way for me to get into the general area. So here's accessories. I flip this over, page 581, and here I have the pattern for the bag, which is right here. Once we've decided that we want to go ahead and make this project, we need to find the information in order to locate the pattern envelope. So if I want to make this purse here, the nice thing is if I locate the pattern envelope that goes with it, I also get these extra projects here. So all the pattern pieces included in the envelope are for all of these. So I can make this bag, and I can also make the cell phone pouch right here, which is kind of nice. You'll see that we have B, C, D, and A. This means 4 different projects. They just label them so it's easier for us to know, okay, I want to make bag B here. In order to locate this pattern envelope, we're going to first need to know the brand, which is Simplicity. If you look at the pattern cabinets, it should be labeled by brand. So you locate Simplicity, open it up, and then you're going to need to know the numbers 2168, and all the patterns should be in numerical order. So once you find 2168, you will find the pattern envelope for the pattern pieces for these projects here. We also have the retail price and a brief description. Over here, you'll see little pictures here, which is just to reiterate that you get these projects in this one envelope here. And again, you'll see A, B, C, and D, which correlates again to these pictures here. Here's another example, this time apparel. So in this case, we have 6 skirts located in one pattern envelope. Again, they're labeled with letters. So here we have D and we have D. That means these 2 skirts up here are exactly the same. The only difference being the decorative buttons and chain on this skirt. This one does not have that. We have D and we have C. Again, they look exactly the same. But since they have different letters, I know they are not. If I look down here at the pictures, again I have C and D, and I notice that C is longer in length than D. So this is probably a knee length and this is shorter. We have B and skirt B. The difference here being, and we have B over here as an example, is the decorative stitching at the waistband and the addition of the buttons. This does not have that. Skirt A is just a longer version of skirt B. So again, you have pattern pieces for all these skirts in one envelope. Now, when you have that, sometimes it gets a little tricky. If I make skirt D and then I later want to make skirt C, I might have a problem because they might share pattern pieces. Since they're exactly the same except for length, there might be one single pattern piece with a line that says cut here for D, cut here for C. If I do D first and then I later want to do skirt C, I might have a problem because I've already cut off at that line and maybe threw away the remainder of the piece. So if you're kind of debating between the two skirts, maybe do C before D, or fold at the line, or keep that bottom piece, then you can tape it on later. So now we're going to look at this information again at the bottom a little closer so we can reiterate how to find your pattern piece, and then also to talk about sizing. Now that we're a little closer, we can look at this information a little bit better. So in order to locate the pattern envelope for this skirt, we're going to need to know the brand again, Simplicity, the pattern envelope number 2451. So we'll go to the pattern cabinet, locate Simplicity, then using numerical order, locate 2451. Now because this is apparel, you have to be careful then with size. Even though all the envelopes for this skirt is going to say 2451, doesn't mean the envelope contains all the sizes. Sometimes it does, but in this particular case, I can look down here and see that it's in two different envelopes. So you see here the parentheses 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, which are enclosed in it. And over here we have another set, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That means sizes 4 through 12 will be in one envelope, and size 12 through 20 is going to be in its own envelope. So when you pull out 2451, you're going to want to look on the front for the sizes indicated. So if I am a size 16, I'm going to look for the envelope that has the sizes 12 through 20. And the same thing if I'm a size 8, I'm going to look for the one that's 4 through 12. Now while we're this close, I also like to look at this area again, because it gives me a little bit more information about what's involved in making this particular project. If I look at skirts C and D, I notice it has these little lines that are coming down from the waistband. That means that there's going to be darts. For this back seam here, you'll notice here at the top there's this little rectangular part attached to it. That means that there's going to be a zipper. And if I look down here at the bottom, the line's a little bit thicker, and then there's a little line coming off diagonally. That means there's going to be a back slit to the skirt. So if you're not feeling totally comfortable doing zippers, you're just going to want to keep this in mind. So this definitely gives you a little bit more information. So now that you know the basics, you can totally feel comfortable going to your local fabric store and looking in your Simplicity pattern book in order to locate a pattern which will fit your need.